Hello, my name is Sidbeast, and you can call me B. And welcome back to some more Even If Tempest. I don't know why I started on the screen. Here we go. I can't wait. I've been excited for this meeting for so long. My heart is beating so fast. I simply wait. Where I am, when this is, or who I'm waiting for are entirely unknown to me. There are so many details missing, yet all I care for is the anticipation building at this meeting with someone. I was told I'll sit still, but my nerves have my legs swinging back and forth. This is, in all likelihood, a dream, and I think I've become someone else. Here, I'm a young boy. Based on my clothes, he's from a well-to-do family. Oh! I, or rather, the boy, yell out. And then, upon realizing this is a place that requires silence, he brings a hand to his mouth. Upon seeing his reaction, the person the boy is waiting for looks on with a smile. Whew. Morning already. I wake up feeling incredibly refreshed, as if I enjoyed a relaxing dream. Though this dreamlike joy is only a fleeting thing, I rarely have mornings like this anymore. Maya. Good morning, Maya. Alright, guess I'll get dressed. Uma! Garudas love things to be clean. They despise when dust attaches itself to their feathers and flap their wings to force doors and windows open when the air gets stale. As only those accepted by each Garuda can enter their room at the aviary, cleaning is one of the most important jobs for a night in the wings of Garuda. As I'm quickly sweeping up the floor, the veterinarian follows me close from behind. Really dig back into those memories of yours. Are you sure nothing happened? Nothing happened. I'm not so sure about that. You're a careless sort, so I wouldn't be surprised if you missed something. I'm careless, am I? There's still dust over there in the corner. The walls are also a sorry state. It's in chores like this you catch a glimpse at someone's personality. There was nothing weird about Huma prior to her laying her egg. I was away for a while because of the Membrum incident, but the knights that looked after her in the meantime told me everything was normal. If anything, the most curious person here is me. I'm desperate to know why her feathers turned red. Huma remains mostly still as she warms her egg. Though you'd normally think a lack of movement would lead to increased stress, her crimson feathers shine with a brilliant luster. It's not as if there aren't records of birds with changing plumage. Take ptarmigans, who live in colder regions. You have a brown plumage in the summer and pure white in the winter. Why do their feathers change colors? Blend in with the snow around them and make it harder for predators to spot them. There are also a number of species whose feathers change as they mature. This process is referred to as molting. As a bird molts, some or all of its feathers are replaced with new ones. But Huma did not molt. Her feathers changed color instantly without a single feather being shed. I've never heard of a bird species undergoing such drastic change. Some, but not all, of what the vet says makes sense to me. It seems logical, for example, to compare Garudas to other birds. But doesn't it make more sense to go through previous birthing records first? When I ask the veterinarian this, though, he looks at me reproachfully. I see you don't even grasp the basics. Garudas are the goddess's divine envoys. To write of their biology is tantamount to intruding on the realm of the divine. His answer reflects something the Grand Commander once mentioned himself. What are the wings even doing if they haven't taught you this very obvious fact? No, I've heard of this before, but that's because I don't find it to be right. Excuse me. Records and research are needed to keep them alive, are they not? I want to hear your answer as a veterinarian. There is much we don't know about Garudas. Take the recognition of their caretakers. Why do they only acknowledge those in the wings? Even I cannot see them without a knight present. And despite the lack of obvious communication between Garudas, once one accepts a knight into their presence, they all do. I am nothing if not curious. But Garudas and their mysteries are a forbidden topic in academia. Should you go against that rule, you'll find yourself in the gaol for life. There. Now you have my answer. Many of the knights numbered had gathered for training again today. They're all smiles as they put their all into their drills. The reason for this? Marcus's Bailey has sent a token of congratulation for the birth of a new Garuda. Again? How many does that make today? That's the 4th gift today, and this one's from a Marcus's. I still can't believe the wings are getting this much attention. So I passed by this royal guardsman the other day. The guy sneered at me. They're always making fun of us and our orders, so they can't be too happy with this situation. Where should I take everything? Hold on, Hugo! Guide them down to storage. Yes, sir.
If we're already getting this much from the egg, I can only imagine they'll organize a full festival for when it finally hatches.
Planning to make Prince of Huma and her chick?
Not even I would try to use the divine birds as a business opportunity. I really get it now.
Get what?
Just how amazing Garudas are. They're far more than a symbol of the royal family's power. We're all hurt after losing Prince Lucian the way we did. Those who saw hope in him even began despairing for the future. But this news of a baby Garuda has brought life back into the city. Prince Conrad's actions are to thank for most of this. His proclamations that this Garuda is Prince Lucian's reborn and has soothed the guilt everyone felt at his death. They can't thank Prince Conrad enough.
It's all but officially confirmed Conrad would be our next king. Though everything looks rosy on the surface, I can only imagine how many are suffering behind the scenes. I must turn back time and save Prince Lucian, but not yet. Now is not that time. I have to find a way to defeat this witch first. If I go in unprepared, I'll only be repeating the same events. By the way, is Landon absent again today?
Seems so. Great Commander Crius told me he's taking off because he's not feeling well.
Do you think we could check up on him?
Of course we can. I was just discussing that with Hugh. But believe it or not, we wanted to go together on our next day off.
Do you mind if I join you?
Not at all. Aw, look at this. Never took you for a timid one.
It's all I can do to brush it off with a smile. Knowing how Landon felt for Maya, I shirk back at how he must think of me now. Then I'll ask the Grand Commander to match our next holiday. I'll let you know how it goes.
Wow! Since when were you close enough that you can ask for something like that?
He apparently intends to give me a bonus for what happened with Huma. I was thinking I could ask for a break instead.
You are the absolute antithesis of greed.
Hey, Crius! I'm not about to take your money for so simple a request. I'll give you a day off without taking anything in return. Thank you, sir. I've been worried about Landon. I'm glad you plan to go see him. That being said... Never mind, it's nothing. Let me know how he is, alright? So I'll be giving you that bonus as planned, but like I mentioned before, I'd like to thank you personally as well. I did nothing worth of such gratitude. I simply did my job. Hey now, you done more than your job. Don't forget what this means for medicine. With a medicine made from Huma's feathers, we can help a lot more people like me. I'm happy to hear that. Have you already recovered? Sure have. Not a problem to be had. Gives me a vigorous grin. If the piles of paper on his desk are any indication, recovery had turned him into even more of a workaholic. Still, I'm surprised he got permission to use Huma's feathers. I thought for sure the royal family would hate that kind of thing. There are certain circumstances motivating that decision, I suppose. Did you prepare for this possibility in advance? His answer is a vague smile. I apparently hit the mark. I shouldn't be, but I'm always so surprised at how efficient you are. I'm pretty good at working behind the scenes. My father once told me this aptitude fitting my status as a noble. But, as a knight, it lacks a kind of candidness. That's not true! I think that's the answer. That's not true at all. Honest, earnest knights do tend to be more loved, yes, but your personal evaluation is far less important than what you accomplish as a knight. When faced with an obstacle, all I can do is face it head on. So I'm grateful that you're able to search for a solution by going around the obstacle instead. Oh, he liked that. You've proven once again that you're a natural flirt. She doesn't mean to. Oh, not at all. I can often be insensitive and drive people to anger. I think I have more enemies than friends. More nefarious conversations do tend to go over your head. Your herd? I think it means head, maybe? I suppose. There's something in you that just draws people to them. As proof of that, Let's put it into that train of thought. That would probably fly over your head, too. Yeah. Anyway, I'd like to thank you personally. I'm not so shameless as to not return the hope you've given me. You don't seem like the type who want a dress or some jewelry. A physical gift of goods or money won't make you happy. I think I can guess what you want. I'm sure he can. Right now, I only want one thing. Answers. What you doing with my mom? Stepmom. Let's go on a date. Okay. Hey, you don't have to look so obviously disappointed. That hurts, you know. Sorry about that. I just wasn't expecting that invitation. No? Guess I'm just not part of your world after all. What? Excuse me? Excuse me? Grand Commander? You're not interested in me at all, are you? I used to find that so vexing, but now it's liberating. Of course I'm interested in the Grand Commander, but as I open my mouth to argue that, something else occurs to me. I spent my life focused entirely on my revenge and on the witch. In other words, I've had my head full of my own problems. Never truly seen Crius Castle Rock the man. He's only ever been my superior or the Grand Commander. I'm surprised she's even thinking that way. I feel she'll be like, huh? Huh? He has strong brows, a slender nose, full lips, and a gaze that grips at a woman's heart. He's tall with a perfect build. He looks like a Dorito. He's the picture of the ideal knight. That's not who he is. You can't understand anyone on appearance alone. What has made him so proficient with scheming? What relationship does he have with a noblewoman like my stepmother? Why did the former Grand Commander feel he was deceived? Car. The Grand Commander closes his eyes as if turning away from something he'd rather not see. In that simple moment, I get a glimpse at the darkness nestled within his heart. I have to turn back time again. I need to save Prince Lucian and Maya. That thought sits as strong in me as ever, but what I express verbally couldn't be any more different. I want to know more about you. Noise sounds from outside the room. Though the Grand Commander immediately opens the door to see what happened, there's not a person in sight. I'm sure something just fell. Don't worry about it. I'll come see you on your day off. Just wait for me at home. It's been a while. How have you been? Good. And how have you been faring? I dream of a boy who waits for someone important to him. I realize faintly that this is the second time I had such a dream. The boy smiles with such unbridled joy. The boy, probably no older than 10 years old, has chestnut brown hair and large, unusually intelligent eyes. It's only then that I realize my perspective has changed from the last dream. I can actually see the boy this time. I must be viewing this dream from his sister's point of view. Her memories start to fill in the gaps. Her name is Isabella, and she's 12 years old. She lives and works here in the church as a newly appointed nun. You don't have to force yourself to speak like a noble young master in front of me. How have you been, Isabella? Great, of course. Oh, did you bring something for me? Yeah, I brought cookies. I made a bunch, so I hope you like them. Thank you. I love the sweets you make. The girl reaches for the pouch of cookies. She notices what looks to be a burn mark on the boy's wrist. What happened? You're hurt. Huh? Oh, I burned myself a bit while making the cookies. It's totally fine though. I mean, I don't... Oh, there you go again. Aren't I always saying you need to treat your wounds? We don't want to see scars ruin how handsome you are. You were graced with these adorable looks of yours. So you need to take better care of your body. If you don't, you'll only suffer for it as an adult. Sorry. I'm so worried about him. He has a habit of hiding his wounds. I wish I could just be at his side. I want to remain his big sister. Oh, goddess. Why must I be killed like this? Why did do this to me? Damn. The once joyous dream ends in a bloody tragedy. Then a nun, the young boy's sister, is murdered. This isn't any normal dream. Did the witch show this to me? Either him or Rune, but unfortunately I need to die to ask Rune about it. I know all too well that treating deaths too lightly can lead to pure madness. I've heard that dreams can predict the future. Is that dream a scene from what's to come? Am I meant to save that boy and his sister? Isabella said the culprit's last name in her final moments, but I can't remember. Damn, why can't I remember? I think it over for some time, but the name never comes to me. Since Isabella is a nun, she must be at the church. Hope I can find the time to go looking for her. I glance at the clock and am... Ooh? What the fuck? I glance at the clock and am immediately surprised to see it's already 10 o'clock. I slept in quite a bit, which means the Grand Commander will be here any moment. I've been worried about this date since his playful invitation. If I'm to take him at face value, I need to wear the proper attire. Unfortunately, all I have are my night clothes and a few pairs of casual wear. Said casual wear is so plain that I'd be better off just wearing my usual knight's uniform. I ended up choosing to wear my usual outfit, I wonder if I shouldn't have tried to buy something more suitable. Even if I had, though, it's not like I could so easily acclimate to wearing a dress. Conventions say long hair befits a young lady, and dresses are designed around this idea. I doubt I'll find a dress that suits my short hair. No. Anastasia, or I don't know, your name is Karen this time, but you're so pretty. She's so gorgeous. I think it froze. Wowie, wowie. He's probably joking anyway, so I don't need to worry so much over it. He has his pick of young women, and if he wanted to date a conventional beauty, he wouldn't have picked me. How odd. I felt almost annoyed right now. Coming! Good morning, Commander. Good morning, Grand Commander. He dressed as normal. Thank goodness I didn't take his joke seriously. Good morning. Today. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to spend time with me today. I immediately salute. He does not look pleased. He's like, really? There's something I'd like you to promise me, Car. I want you to forget I'm your superior for today. Huh? If you were honest and wanting to learn more about me, then please. I want to see who he really is underneath it all. Changing how I refer to him may be the first step I need to take. So what should I call you today, Sir Castle Rock? So what should I call you today, Sir Castle Rock? Just my first name, I think. What? Grand Commander's hand softly brushes by my hair. My questions about why are answered when I spotted my unruly hair still mussed up from sleep in the mirror. Sorry. I prefer you at your most natural, but we've got to think of those young ladies crushing on the Rose Knight. Alright, all fixed. The corners of his mouth curl up into a small smile as he kneels in front of me. Do you do me the honor of sharing your time with me, Lady Carr? Oh. You're being a little bit of a cheeseball. Look over there! It's Sir Crius at the Wings of Garuda! And the Rose Knight is with him. They look like they came right off a painting. Got used to the attention, but is magnified threefold when alongside the Grand Commander. Something similar happened before during the historic Foundation Day. The Garuda flight show is held for the king every year. The 18 Garudas take to the sky with the Knight of the Wings on their backs in a grand and impressive display. People come from all over the world to witness the spectacle. In times of celebration, those with nefarious goals can more easily blend in. An anti-monarchist faction had tried to assassinate the king, but failed, because the Grand Commander found them out. He used 8 Garudas to protect the king and directed the remaining 10 to drive the faction away. If his feat was all there was, he may have simply been extolled as a hero. The reason he gained so many fans and sold so many prints was because of where he was. Grand Commander gave his orders from the castle's 3rd floor balcony. The king usually addresses the masses from this balcony, and normally no one else would be allowed to stand there. The Grand Commander all but forced himself onto the balcony to lead the Garudas. An already very charming knight had just stood on the grandest stage and acted without restraint. It's the perfect recipe for popularity. Some theorize that his actions were not more than a performance to gain popularity, but these are likely rumors born of jealousy. Besides, it's not like he needs to do anything special to stand out. He just stand there and grab your attention. His unwavering gaze, his posture as sharp as an unused sword. He's a statue, firm and unyielding. I've known him for 8 years, yet I never once found that what I would call a flaw. But what if this was just an act, and the essence of his character lies somewhere else? He's an extraordinary man. We must burn this image into our eyelids. We won't be getting prints of these two anymore. It's such a shame. It's such a shame that they halted the sales of those prints. Huh? Miser Mitchell decided to stop selling prints, did he? Did you just hear that, sir? Did you warn Mitchell about selling his prints? Nope, not at all. He did all that on my orders, you see. What? Care to say that again? Running the wings involves a lot of empty coffers. I got popular after that whole anti-monarchist business, so I didn't want to let that opportunity go to waste. But with all the donations we're getting from Mobility now, I told Mitchell that we didn't need to sell them anymore. Maybe he really did stand up on that balcony to get popular. We got some fresh clouds here. How about a taste? You hear that, car? Wanna try a cloud? A cloud? What's that? It's a type of sweet bread. It's as soft as a cloud. So that's how it got its name. He had that answer ready for me. I wonder if he has a sweet tooth. You like sweet stuff, right? The Grand Commander buys one cloud and hands it over to me. Thank you. The cloud is about as big as my palm and doesn't look any different than a bread roll. The white color reminds me of a pile of tightly packed snow. The scent, meanwhile, is as sweet as a cake. The soft, mellow sweetness feels exactly like a cloud as it melts into my mouth. The lack of any real sensation as I bite into it heightens the taste. Stop it! Chip. The Grand Commander crinkles his eyes as he looks down at me. Watching you enjoy that so thoroughly reminds me of my sister. She sure loves to eat. If you're gonna try rizzing up a girl, do not compare her to your sister. Wait, what? Flashes from my dream this morning came to mind. The possibility these two things could be connected leads me to ask my next question. I didn't know you had older sisters. What do they do now? The oldest and third oldest have gotten married and lived with their husbands. The second oldest brought her husband to our home and are running things now. You have 3 older sisters? Sure do. I'm the only boy, so I had a time of it when I was younger. The Grand Commander seems entirely uninvolved with the dream, based on his tone. Isabella said the boy spoke like a noble young master, but I doubt they're from a noble family. They did seem to be some complicated circumstances involved, though. Don't you want to try one, Grand Commander? Grand Commander? Oh. First, let's talk about your outfit. I invited you out on a date, so why wear your usual uniform? It's all I got. Don't diss me. But you're just wearing the same outfit as always, too. Yeah. Me? This is all I have. Well, same. Same only thing we got. Yeah, right. Every single knight in the wings know that the Grand Commander is incredibly stylish. He's a fashionista. Still, I'm at fault for being so sudden about it. You probably didn't have the time to prepare. Guess I'll just have to pick out one for you. What? How may I help you today? I'm looking for a dress for her. Can you show me what you got in stock? Of course, sir. Oh, would you be the Rose Knight? The Rose Knight herself wants a dress. Please, sir. I could never make a dress work, not with my short hair and muscles. I'd like a more refined design. Nothing too showy, something longer too. Thank you for shopping with us. That was a pretty productive shopping trip. Sorry it took so long, though. You must be exhausted. I couldn't pick one. They all look so good on you. I hope we can actually see it. We see it, please? Car? Oh, is that Sir Crius? How handsome. Who's that girl next to him? Look at that red hair. Could it be... Grand Commander, let's go somewhere else. Huh? Oh, sure. Aw, she's embarrassed. She's not used to wearing a dress. This is the first time I ever had to run in heels. Muscles I never used before in my life are suddenly thrown into overdrive, and I can barely catch my breath. Is the dress not to your liking? Oh. No, I do like it. I'm incredibly grateful. You've chosen something incredibly beautiful and even paid for it. I'm just not used to it, is all. I'm sure people will laugh at me for it. Didn't think you worried that so much about others. I hate when people ridicule me, so much that I can barely breathe. Excuse-moi? Excusez-moi? Also, okay, everyone is saying, oh, the dress is so pretty. You're gorgeous, girl. Let me tell you just one thing. You're more beautiful than anyone. Not a single person would ever ridicule you. You work harder than... Oh, look at her! She's so flustered. She's so cute. I love her. What's that expression? You work harder than anyone and are more resourceful than most. Yet you value yourself so little. Certainly makes me want to protect you, but I wish you were more confident in yourself. My heart thumps. Who does this voice belong to exactly? This is not the Grand Commander I've shared 8 years with. This is a voice of a charming seducer. What made you say that all of a sudden? It's so odd. It's not like you never cared much for my appearance before. If it bothers you, I will not say it again. It doesn't really bother me. It just all happened so quickly. I'm just confused. I'm pretty surprised myself. Never realized I had these feelings inside me. I spent the last 8 years being constantly surprised by you. Since you mentioned becoming a nun if we didn't let you in, I thought it better to make you a knight before then to give you over to the church. But I was originally going to send you home after a while. I thought it would be too tough for a woman. You got good guys in the wings, but there's still prejudice. You're stubborn and not the most articulate, so I wasn't sure you'd fit in. But at some point, you became part of their group. You didn't try to use some womanly charm or garner their sympathies. I was impressed, honestly. It wasn't always peaceful. I had people accusing me of doing this as a romp, and I was teased plenty of times. You're always there to help me in those times, sir. That was never the goal. If you came crying to me, I'd pounce on it as a reason to send you back home. But you never once tried to rely on me. I thought you were strong. That impression only grew when you won at the war games, but I was forced to rethink those assumptions when I saw you cry after Maya's death. You aren't strong. You try to remain strong. That trial would bring any man to their knees, and you won that too. Strong is too simple a word to encapsulate that. When I see this about you, He has feelings. Oh. Move out of the way, Lou. I want to look at her. Look at your face. I love it. So what? I respect you from the bottom of my heart. There's an anguish in his words then. What expression is he wearing as he looks at me? If I could just turn around, I could find out for myself. Unfortunately, his arm won't allow me to do so. Can't help but feel he's pushing me away from him, and it hurts. Our date ends here. Let's get to what you want to talk about. Not exactly sure where to start, though. Let's start with my contact with the Rizz family. I'm sure that's what you're most curious about, right? I nod. As you likely guess, I despise that woman. You're free to associate with whoever you please, but I can't stop my curiosity. I first met with Lady Evelina 3 years ago. I found out she suffers from the same illness I do. What? She's sick? I never knew. Mine came when I was older, but she was apparently born with it. She was told from a young age to hide it from others. You were shocked the royal family allowed the use of Garuda feathers, remember? This is why they approved it. How could the king not allow it when his own sister is suffering? I actually had more trouble getting Lady Evelina to admit she was sick. She's a terrifying one. Makes you stand pin straight when she looks at you. This is the first time I ever heard of her illness. I doubt anyone at the manor knows. Just how did you find out? I got a friend that'll do just about anything for me, remember? Immediately remembered Inquisitor Lister. If he got this information, then he's more amazing than I already thought. Not just anyone can dig down into the royal family's secrets. For this illness you and she share, what are the symptoms? Inability to feel pain. Our senses of smell and taste are also gone. We could also lose our perception of color at later stages. It doesn't really make sense though. Cause wasn't he having chest pains? Or what's he was like, ugh, and stuff. If he didn't have pain, I don't know. If you didn't notice, then I must be a pretty good actor. I may be able to make it on stage even if I quit the wings. Even if I have to quit the wings. Grand Commander laughs jokingly, and that smile now feels like a thorn in my chest. When you lose your senses, you start to lose your heart too. I lived without any real convictions and just let myself be dragged along. I was the picture of nihility. Don't mean to excuse Lady Evelina's actions, but after seeing what happened with Lady Orla, I can only imagine what you went through. It's clear who the victim was here. But I think she would have been a very different person if she didn't have to deal with this illness. I only say that because I get it, to a degree. She wanted to know what pain truly was, even if it meant choosing it on someone else. I'm gonna take a shot at what Grand Commander Kyle likely told you. I am having an affair with Lady Evelina and bribing her for money or something, right? Right. I see. Hugo apparently ran into him and got told the same exact thing. He said that he was chased out of the wings by you. Oh, oops. He said he was chased out of the wings by you, sir. That would be correct. He was embezzling the Order's funds. I sent in an anonymous report to top brass and had him expelled. In hindsight, I realized that keeping that a secret wasn't the best decision. I just didn't want to tarnish the wing's name. Though I'd wanted to know about Grand Commander Kyle as well, it's hard to listen with a level head. This swirl of anger and grief is new to me and I don't know what to do. My stepmother's actions began with her illness. Orla and I never did anything to her, yet she tried to ignore her own feelings by taking her problems out on her own daughters. I'm enraged at her selfish, thoughtless actions, but I'm also deeply saddened when I think of what the Grand Commander has suffered through. He puts on a mask of perfection to keep people at an arm's length so they won't find out he's sick. It's also doubtless because he doesn't want these people to worry about him. He kept people away from him for their sakes. My heart feels like it could split right in two when I think about how he must have lived into this moment. Anger and sorrow. Which of these feelings is stronger? Are you crying? Why? Is this news about Lady Evelina such a shock? It's not that. This had nothing to do with her. I can't tell him these tears are for him. Anything I say now would sound shallow and be far from a comfort for him. So I let those words die in my throat as the tears continue to flow freely. Car. There is one more place I'd like to take you to. Will you come with me? Of course. Oh, the church. You know, I can't tell if he's telling the truth or not. Me and him, like, with the chest pain earlier, it's a bit iffy to me. Like, I'm not sure if he's, like, very trustworthy. He takes me to a church on the outskirts of the city. Stained glass windows make up the walls of the domed building. The ethereal light dancing around me feels like something out of a dream. With the weather as nice as it is today, the stained glass looked even more beautiful. This is the perfect place to rest, emotionally and physically. Yeah, is that why you brought me here? Brought you here to ask you to marry me? Doubtful. What? Just kidding. There's someone I wanted to introduce you to. But unfortunately, she doesn't seem to be around. He grimaces a bit before closing his eyes in prayer once more. I take a few steps away from him, thinking I should give him this time alone. Once I do, though, I run into someone I never would have expected. Car, is that you? Hugo, did you come to pray as well? Jeez, the least you could do is remember where your friend lives. Oh yeah, your father was a cardinal, huh? There are 7 cardinals of the Nornan faith. These seven helm an organization that oversees various regional churches in the inquisitorial order. You could at least sound more apologetic. Anyway, what are you doing here? You look... Don't even say it. Huh? Why not? It's nothing bad. It really suits. Please don't say it. And don't tell Mitchell or Landon about this either. Alright, mum's the word. The other knights would doubtless tease me if they were to see me in this dress. I'm glad that if I had to meet any of them at all, it was someone as tight-lipped as Hugo. Oh, I might be able to ask Hugo about my dream. Hugo, you know of a nun by the name of Isabella? Huh? She got chestnut brown hair and has a younger brother. New expression. Are you the younger brother? Because you seem really distraught. Why do you know that name? Do you know her? Where is she? She died years ago. Oh, that's a shame. My dream, then, was of an event from the past. I have proof now that it's far more than a dream, but knowing I can do nothing is disappointing. So she's already been killed, then. Killed? I remember her final words. Isabella was killed by... I clamped my mouth shut. Don't just leave me hanging, it's creepy. Sorry, it's nothing. I can't just come out and say a cardinal killed her. But there are 7 of them. I can't just assume Hugo's father is the culprit. Hey, where did you hear this from? I doubt you just started looking into this. Those doubts are correct, but if I were to answer him honestly, I could very well be tried as a witch. What's wrong? Hello there, Hugo. Didn't realize you were here too. Oh, Hugo? Is he alright? He looked pale as a sheet. I gave a brief rundown of what happened with Hugo. I see. That explains it. You do well not to dig too deep into that incident, for yours and Hugo's sakes. But I'm also curious to know where you got your info from. Why do you know about such an old incident? What would you do if I told you I saw it in a dream? You're an odd one, that's for sure. That's the kind of joke that will get you locked away. I'm sorry, sir. Well, I wouldn't worry about it. It's all in the past. Thanks for spending the day with me, and sorry for forcing all this on you. You don't need to apologize. Thank you for the dress, and well, you always felt so out of reach, so thank you for letting me in today. Yeah, I feel like a load's been lifted too. I'm gonna let out a load tonight. Following days are peaceful ones. The fear surrounding the witch trial and the celebrations over our new Garuda's birth had all died down as people returned to their normal lives. Things have also calmed down around the wings, but only on the surface. Landon has yet to come back, and though we tried to visit him, we weren't even let inside the door. Something is off about Hugo as well. We haven't talked in days, and I can't help but feel like he's ignoring me. More and more days pass, and nothing ever changes. After a hard day of work, I drag my worn body home. But I know that, unfortunately, I don't have anything worth eating in the cupboards. Would it be easier to stop at a restaurant before going home? Or should I just buy something? Oh, look at that! They're selling dinner sets over there. Guess I'll get one of those. I don't know about that. The sets are cheap, sure, but it's not very tasty. Oh, that's a shame. I guess I'll go to another... Huh? Male. But are you actually male? Male? Why are you here? Wait, the voice I heard just now wasn't Male's at all. I know who this man is. You're the witch. So, I'd like to ask you a little something. What did you do? The seed I planted just refused to sprout. I really should have it by now. Did you dig it back up? Do you have some other ability outside of turning back time? A seed? What is he going on about? Instead of asking though, I remain quiet. I'll get much more out of him if I just let him talk instead of asking him any questions. Why won't you say anything? How annoying. If I were dealing with someone else, I'd just kill them, but it doesn't work with you. How truly vexing. But I still have my ways. The shadow surrounding the witch grows much denser, so much that I'd think the shadow was his true body. Stay away! Must be scary. No amount of fighting prowess would do you any good against someone you can't touch. It's time that we begin our ending. Imagine if you would, your body sinking into the darkness. The cold creeps up your limbs and seeps into your heart as you lose all sensation. There you are, cut off from the world. Despite knowing full well I'm doing the impossible, I throw out a punch with all the strength I can muster. I have to, or I'll give in to my fear. But this punch carrying all my might is pathetically weak. If it had managed to hit the witch, it would have done him little to no harm. You're so weak to the power of suggestion. You really must try a little harder for me. I balk at making someone as amusing as you my puppet, but I suppose I have no choice. He breathes in between pursed lips and lowers his voice. You have given control of your body to me. You can't move nary a finger nor whisper any word. Can you see it now? Can you feel how a human like you meets their end? Mind stepping away from her? I'll have you know I was in the middle of hitting on her. Smooth. Grand Commander! The very moment I see him, all my sensations return. He grins reassuringly at me before facing off with the witch. So you're the witch. You look like the court painter at the moment, but I to assume this is the same trick that lets you parade around as Thomas. Hello. No one can touch him. Not even you could win a fight against him, sir. Besides, it's me he's after. He won't go after you if you run, so leave. Not about to leave you here alone. Are you nuts? What impeccable timing. The hero has come to save his heroine. Ugh, I'm all out of juice. I'm done dealing with the annoying stuff, so let's just finish this here, shall we? The witch smiles, as none of the timid eccentricity I can say a male's grins. The smirk is as sharp as ice and makes shivers run up my spine. Too late, do I realize that I'm just another piece toppled over in his game board. No person could ever win against an opponent that could simply end the game wherever he gets bored of it. And that's why I never anticipated that someone could overthrow the board completely. It's you! Hello! Hello there! Scary as usual. I love you. Oh, goddess. The witch is instinctively terrifying. My hatred becomes as flames that completely envelop my heart. But this monster is on an entirely new scale of terror. Did anyone detest the very concept of death? You may mourn the loss of your family to its grasp, but you can't keep up such negative emotions as hate to something you can't win against. That is what this monster represents. How do I hate something that paralyzes all my senses in its presence? How do I detest something that makes my blood run cold? What I wasn't expecting, though, was that this would apply to the witch as well. The witch's brows knit together when he takes in my fear. It's only then that he notices the monster behind him. This is the worst. This is the worst. Today is the worst. I would have brought that fool if I knew this would happen. The witch seems to know who this monster is, and then without any sign of running away, he emotionally allows the monster to pierce his chest. Ow! Woo! Blood spurts out of the wound, pointing to his heart being ruptured. The witch's black blood immediately stains the floor around him. His body convulses around the blade until he finally breathes his last. The monster picks up the witch's body up and begins gorging itself on its flesh. The monster takes large bites, his jaws crunching easily through the bone. The feeding is done as suddenly as it begun. The monster happily pats its stomach and moves sluggishly towards us. Its beady eyes looks at us like we're its next meal. Grand Commander is the quickest to act. Immediately intuits that running is not an option and unsheaths his sword. Grand Commander! His sword and the monster's claws shriek against each other. The impact creates sparks around them, and even my 8 years of training wouldn't prepare me to get between them. The monster is well versed in human weakness as it aims for the Grand Commander's head, neck, and heart. The obvious nature of the monster's attack means they're easy to dodge, but only the Grand Commander can make dodging look so easy as he increases the frequency of his own attacks. Even purposely leaves himself open, luring the monster in to attack and retaliating during that period. Grand Commander's blade finally strikes the beast. Amazing! To think someone could actually stand against that thing. As impressed as I am, though, I watch with vague unease. Using an opening to lull your opponent into attacking is a useful strategy, but is also just as much as a dangerous one. Is he not terrified? Does the thought of those claws digging into his flesh not bother him? I wonder if this comes from his experience in battle. Would I be able to accomplish the same feats once I had the same years of experience behind me? No, I don't think I could ever do that. So why can he manage? What does he have that I don't? The monster comes to a sudden halt. Has he grown tired of this sudden exercise? Or has he given up on trying to kill the Grand Commander? Either way, the monster slowly fades away into the darkness. Oh. Grand Commander, are you alright? Yeah, that was a hell of a monster. You know what that thing was? Not at all. It was impressive they were able to stand against it. Honestly, I'm pretty surprised myself. That was an out-of-body experience. Hey, Car. Was that really me who did all that? Huh. I can't answer him. I was impressed with his strength, yes, but I also feel fear there, deep inside of me. How many times have you saved my life? Certainly not so many that you need to ask like that. But it has been. You saved me far more than I can ever count. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing so this time too. It's nothing. I'm just glad you're safe. Do you think that killed the witch? Certainly looked dead to me. I knew full well how terrifying that monster was, but I never did expect it to win against a witch. I call it a variety of witch for being able to touch a witch, but Rune said otherwise. In any case, I now know that this monster counts as a witch's weak point. If I can make them cross paths before anything happens, I can kill the witch without losing anyone else. Discovery of this breakthrough puts me truly at ease for what feels like the first time in forever. I'm thirsty. I'll go buy you something. Nah, it's fine. I'll just go to some pub. Rather not head straight home just yet. Grand Commander looks deathly pale, so I opt to accompany him out of worry. Welcome! Take a seat anywhere. I'm gonna wash up a bit. Mind finding some seats for us, Car? Will you be okay on your own? Don't worry about me. I'll be right back. I choose a seat in the back of the establishment. Once I make sure the Grand Commander is fine, I'll turn back time. I finally know how I can save Maya and Prince Lucian. I don't have to watch anyone else get hurt anymore. I can make it all go away. I guess this will erase all the time I spent with the Grand Commander. Huh. Stop turning back time. Zin! What the fuck do you know, Zin? I haven't seen him in a long time. I was apparently so deep in my thoughts that I never noticed the man sit next to me. What's your deal, Zin? I recognize this man, but I can't remember from where. It is though a deep, dense fog surrounds those memories. He's Zin! Wait. What did he just say? Listen up and listen well. This is a 1 in 1,000 chance, if not a 1 in 10,000 one. You can't even predict what Andy would do, let alone hope to control it. And because the witch puts Andy at the top of his watch list, he'll lock himself up in his own world. Andy? That monster. Not even the witch can hope to best that thing. It sits comfortably at the top of our ecosystem. Now are you listening to me? This is your best ending. This will be your first and last happy ending. So don't ever go turning back time ever again. Who are you? Why do you know that? Finding any of that out changes nothing for you. I'm nothing more than a bit roll. And how am I to trust you when I don't even know who you are? I'll turn back time whenever I feel like you. Feel like you? I'll turn back time whenever I feel like it. Thank you very much. Then how exactly do you intend to meet the witch up with Indy? Can't exactly best either of them in combat. Well, I'll get the Grand Commander to help me. You can stand toe-to-toe with that monster. Not gonna work. That only happened because we're in this specific timeline. A few months ago, Cass be dead before he even unsheathed his sword. Cass. If he's calling the Grand Commander by such a nickname, he must either be his friend or some family member. Oh, now I remember. You're Zen Sorefield. He's the man I tried to meet before the witch stepped in my way. Until this moment, I couldn't even remember who he was. The witch's suggestion still hangs over me, it seems. Zen looks at me with clear annoyance before standing up to walk away. Wait, just who are you? Please tell me if I could trust you or not. How do you know my powers? You don't need to know anything. Not when we've reached... Oh my god, can I speak? Apologies. You don't need to know anything. Not when we've reached the ending. Listen to me. Really listen. No matter what may happen, you cannot turn back time. Okay, Zen. Those parting words, he leaves. He's hot. Grand Commander doesn't ever come back to his seat. I stand up to leave as well, assuming he went home after his condition worsened. Following morning, his name is plastered throughout the city as a murderer on the run. What the fuck? Whiteless Wings 4? Okay. What the hell? This is a good place to stop it. Hazen. Okay, like, Huh? That's all I can say, huh? Lots of questions that need to be answered. Why is Grand Commander Crius suddenly being called a murderer? Why does Zen know the stuff that he does? And... shit. I don't know. Mr. Indy! What's up with Mr. Indy? I love him, though. I love Mr. Indy. Mr. Indy route win? Just kidding. But yeah. Well, thanks for watching, if you're watching, but... yeah. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye!